Hello, today I'm going to teach you how to make a window treatment called a valance. It is a simple, short little curtain that goes across the top of a window that you already have a blind on and you don't really need any privacy. I'm going to show you how to measure for it, how to iron the seams in, and how to sew them and then put it on the rod. For this project I have my sewing machine and I have paper and pencil that I'm going to use to measure, figure out the measurements that I need. I'm using scissors and my pins, and I have 3 different kinds of rulers. I have a fabric ruler that I use to measure the fabric with, a straight ruler to mark lines with, and this little ruler with the sliding thing is what I use to mark lines. This is the window that I'm going to make the valance for, and I've already measured it, and it is 68 inches wide. And I want the curtain to be 15 inches from the top to the bottom because it's about 1/4 of the way down, which is normally what you do with a valance. You can make them any length you want. It's up to you, whatever is pleasing to your eye with the particular window that you want to cover. I have drawn out a little sketch so that I would know how much fabric I would need, and my window's 68 and I want it to be 15 from the top. I decided to break it into half of that window would be 34 inches, and fabric comes in 45 inches, and I decided to use one width of fabric and make 2 separate valances and just push them together in the middle because it makes it easier when you're laundering and also when you're sewing them. The dimensions for a valance, you add a total of 5 inches for the header and the back of the header and the back of the pocket, and 2 inches on the bottom for a hem. So it gives us a total of 22 inches, and I need that times 2 because I'm going to make 2, so I need 44 inches of fabric. I purchased 60 inches of fabric and split it into 2 22-inch lengths of fabric, and I'm going to show you on a scrap piece of fabric that I have that is the same length. It's 22 inches long, but it's a little bit narrower, so it won't take me as long to sew the hems in. And I'm going to show you the procedure. These are the sides. On the sides, we turn in 1/2 inch and then turn in another 1/2 inch. And I used my iron over here. I ironed those in so that it makes it much easier to sew them. So your iron is also a tool whenever you're sewing. I decided to go on and iron all the seams in. I ironed 1 inch total on both sides, 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch, and then on the bottom I did a full inch and then another inch, which makes a nice little sturdy hem at the bottom that hangs nicely. And then on the top for the header, you turn it under 1/2 inch, and then you turn under 3 inches for a total of 3.5 on the top. And then we're going to sew this, this, and across the bottom of here. I have my machine loaded with red thread to match the fabric, and I'm just going to use the guides on my faceplate here. I have little markings all the way over here to 1.5 inches, and I'm going to use the 1/2 inch one here for this. I finished sewing the hems in on my little sample piece here. Side hems on both sides, and then that nice little 1-inch bottom hem there. And then on the top, turned in under that and sewed 3 inches down. Now what I need to do is to divide this into 2 1.5 inch things. So I have a pocket here for my rod and a little header on the top. In order to do that, I have a place marked on my sewing machine. The edge of my little faceplate here is 1/2 inch. Is 1.5 inches from there, and I know that this is 3 inches. I have my little tape measure here. If you don't have something on there, you can measure it and then put a piece of masking tape down here so you can see it, or you can put draw a line with your ruler and your pencil, draw some lines on there so that you can mark those, whatever you choose to do. I've been making these for a long time, so I'm going to just use this little line right here to mark my little place and sew the little pocket in. Okay, finishing up the edge there of that little pocket, there I have a little sample valance here made that is the same length of the one that I'm going to show you that I have already made to put up on the window, and this is it. Here is the little header at the top sewn with these, and then here is the pocket, 1.5 inches for a 1-inch rod to fit in between. Here's a picture of the final valance on the window that I was making them for originally. The 2 valances cut 45 inches wide and sheared onto the rod for a total of 68 inches. The extra shears on and makes the little gathers. Talk one more time about how we measured for this curtain. The window was 68 inches wide. I wanted to make 2 curtains to push on together, so that was 34 inches. I decided to use 45-inch wide fabric to make my job easy and just to allow 10 inches on each curtain for shearing. You can double your fabric, triple your fabric, whatever you want to do. It's your choice. Again, I chose to make it 15 inches long from the top of the rod to the bottom. Add 5 inches. This is standard for the header, the pocket, and the back of the pocket. 2 inches for the bottom hem for a total of 22 inches for this particular curtain. And I doubled that to 44 inches for my fabric because I wanted to make 2. So I purchased a 60-inch length of fabric, and I had a little bit left over just for scrapping for just in case. I want to thank you for watching this video on how to make a valance for a window curtain. I hope you learned something. Sewing is fun and can be easy, and start with a simple project and hopefully you'll fall in love with sewing. Thanks.